Doechii is one of, if not the most hated woman in rap right now. Really, the internet as a whole over this past year done hated her for everything, and it's been getting worse. Anytime she pop out, she get hate, and I know for a fact when she dropped her next big project, it's gonna come with a whole lot of hate. But everything that's really happened with her this whole year has been wild. People accusing her of being this huge industry plant, saying she got the K-bots behind her, got Kendrick and TDE pushing all these bots. And I mean, she do got that Kendrick Lamar push behind her. You know, he co-signed her a lot. He done spoke on Doechii before. And the thing is, she signed to TDE, a label Kendrick was a part of and pushed for years. Article right, Doechii joined TDE in early 22 as the imprint's first ever female MC. She spent the 2 following years releasing 9 album singles and collaborative tracks with established artists like SZA and all these other people. So she made the decision to work with Kendrick and TDE all these years ago, and nobody really knew what was gonna come for her next. Now, Doechii's somebody that's been making music for a while now, but was never this huge name. She was never this household artist that people knew. So she's building this fan base. She dropped a couple big songs here. She had a career going. She was buzzing. She was even an XXL freshman at one point. And that was cool and all. You know, she growing her career, dropping this music, but that don't mean everything was completely fine though, because she did get into her fair share of problems with other people. At one point, there was rumors of her and Latto having issues with each other over Nicki Minaj. XXL will write this on Thursday, March 2nd, Twitter account shared a report that Latto and Doechii exchanged some heated words backstage at the 2023 Billboard Woman in Music event. According to an insider, Doechii reportedly checked Latto for making fun of her acceptance speech when Latto was on stage giving thank yous after receiving her reward. After on social media, people were speculating on if Latto was making fun of Doechii at these music awards. Basically, people thought Latto was trying to be slick after Doechii got on stage and praised Nicki and all of this. And you know, these two had some problems. And even though this one was more speculative, this was more of a fan war, something that fans was trying to figure out. Something that was a full-on war was Doechii and Azalea Banks. Now, Doechii and Azalea Banks will have an actual war. These two artists will be going back and forth, snapping on each other on social media. And it all started because Azalea Banks, who she is as a person, huge crash out, who will say anything she wants with no remorse, no second thoughts, nothing. She will get online, say what she want, and then stand on it, even if it's crazy. And she did exactly that to Doechii, talking crazy and stood on it. But even before Doechii, we done seen plenty of examples of this. And Azalea Banks will kind of take the beef to the next level. Tons of tension and subtweets between Azalea Banks and Iggy Azalea. They began beefing when Banks took issue with Iggy being a lone female rapper on the 2012 XXL freshman cover. But none of it compares to the time that Banks responded to an interview in which Iggy Azalea revealed that the criticism she had received since breaking into music made her contemplate self-harm. Azalea Banks would comment on one of Azalea's posts, encouraging her to self-end. But this article would also write, despite that distasteful and offensive comment, these two made up. Banks would get on Snapchat with a heartfelt message directed at Iggy saying this: "I just want to say I don't hate you. I don't know you to hate you, and I don't agree with many of your opinions. At times I empathize with you as a creative Gemini woman. I wish you had spoken to me before deciding I was out to get you when we first came into the scene." And so she already has this history of talking to people crazy. Then her and Doechii would get into it. What the hell you think she gonna say to her? This little beef go back some years though. 2022, Doechii was working on some music, and she dropped this song called Crazy and wanted Azalea Banks on a remix. And at first, Banks agreed, until she would turn right back around, take the feature back, and it wasn't like, oh, you know, I don't want to give you this feature no more. She was like, F TDE, F Doechii, y'all got this clone of me signed to y'all label and she want me to work with her. It was a lot. She was snapping on everybody, but we're really focused on Doechii. And over time, we will see this beef escalate. We got Banks in her comments trolling. Banks would get on her story calling Doechii an ugly version of her. She even took to Doechii's Instagram comments after being asked by her fan base what her nickname should be. Definitely should call them the wannabes, Azalea Banks wrote in the comment, which prompted a response for Doechii. Doechii would say, the first time you came for me, I let it slide out of respect for my elders. It's not my fault you selling Bussy soap and I'm selling platinum records. Leave me alone. But that wasn't the end of their situation.
With this anger for so long, and they find this kind of like ugly version of, well, she's not even a version, she's just ugly. And I hate to call a dark-skinned girl ugly because she just is ugly. She'd be ugly if she were light-skinned. They find this ugly girl and they try to sick her on Azalea Banks. So, okay, so if I'm a woman with self-respect, right, and I'm listening to men basically tell me that they are too afraid to Azealia Banks, so they need me to go fight a bitch for them. TDE is going out sad. You got Isaiah Rashad sucking dick, and terribly, on camera. You know, you've got them like revving up these like bot farms. You got this like Doechii chick, who I have no clue who she is. But she's been having like this months-long dialogue with some fake Azealia Banks account, and like I guess thinks that I owe her some sort of like collab, like, honey, no. See, look at what happened to Rico Nasty. And she tried to be young Rapunzel. Kenny Beats lied to Rico Nasty, and he destroyed her.
And so at the same time she doing all this on Doechii, she making problems she had with TDE even worse. Fast forward to this year, right? And you know Kendrick do the Super Bowl, and Azealia Banks will have something to say about Kendrick during the Super Bowl and about TDE. TDE Punch, a big person to play in Kendrick's career, would speak about the Super Bowl performance after it happened. Seeing all the commentary surrounding the Super Bowl performance is showing that we lost sight of what we always fought for, to be who we are as artists of hip-hop culture. She would get on Twitter and say, you guys are super pathetic and quite possibly the most music collective hip-hop has seen. You guys are all super uncharismatic misfits, regardless of how good you guys are at choosing cows at the music industry songwriting cattle. Then she would keep going in on Punch. She would say Punch is ugly and annoying. Corny LA niggas who read self-help books and have Buddhas and Joe Malone candles everywhere, like fake Russell Simmons. Then she would keep going on, speaking on Kendrick. She would say the reason why this is not believable, because there's absolutely nothing aspirational about being a short, dark-skinned, nappy-headed, asthmatic dude from Compton, California. To be a star, men have to want to be you and women have to want to F you. Kendrick has neither going for him. Men want to be Drake and women want to F him. That's why he's a star. So I'm not reading the rest of that, but she was online talking a whole bunch of bullshit. And that's just what Azealia Banks do. She get online, she say what she want, she don't care. Let me know if y'all want a video on her in the future, because she got one of the craziest histories in the music industry as a whole. Then even this year, she was still sending some shots at Doechii, which I'm not gonna dig into because it wasn't that big of a deal, but just know Azealia Banks get the drag in these problems. But back to Doechii. Now, Doechii and TDE done had crazy ties, of course, especially with her being associated with Kendrick. It means that while all the Drake-Kendrick beef was going on, all the hate Kendrick was receiving got spread across all of his artists associating with him. And Doechii just so happens to be associated with Kendrick Lamar, with TDE. So now she this artist in this weird position through in the middle of a war zone. And during the middle of this war zone, she would drop her debut album, Alligator Bites Never Heal, basically a full year ago now. And this was a slept on project. I mean, it dropped, it did 11K first week, but that wasn't the end all be all, because the project itself wasn't poorly received. When it came out, people heard it, people liked it, people praised it.
Always do, or I always try to. Though I see certain songs, I go, yeah, this could definitely be on the radio, The one thing that I feel is gonna hold her back, and I hope it doesn't, because it didn't necessarily hold Kendrick back, and TDE's a little different when it comes to this, so I hope she gets that same grace. Where, and also I could be dead wrong, like I said, those songs with JTE, if she doesn't have like a, on this song like that one song where you go, oh, this is that one, even though I said there's songs like, oh yeah, I throw them on the radio, those are the ones I pick. But like, I hope she doesn't get judged by the same standards that the other girls who clearly aren't really musicians or like don't care as much about their artistry as they care about themselves as an influencer. I hope she gets judged more like TDE artists.
So this album was enjoyed, but slept on. And what she ain't know was how much this project was gonna change her life in both good and bad ways. She dropped this project in August. Fast forward to Grammy time 2025, now we got her in talks of winning a Grammy for an album that sold 11K first week, and that was real underrated. But it wasn't just talks that she would win this Grammy. She won this Grammy. And that was probably one of, if not the most controversial thing that happened at the Grammys this year. XXL were right. Doechii was presented the award by Cardi B, and the TDE artist would give an emotionally charged acceptance speech. She would say anything is possible. Don't allow anyone to project any stereotypes on you that tell you can't be here, that you're too dark or you're not smart enough or that you're too dramatic or too loud. You know exactly who you need to be right now and where you are. I'm a testimony. And she would win Best Rap Album. But her winning Best Rap Album at the Grammys this year was real controversial because y'all know how close-minded the hip-hop space really is. First week sales done took more importance than really the music itself. You could drop a 10 out of 10 album, but let's say the sales as a good portion of hip-hop just gonna be like, oh, you suck, oh, you washed, oh, you fell off, oh, you did this, oh, you did that. And that's kind of what happened to Doechii. She dropped a project that wasn't bad. She dropped a actual body of work. People liked it. Grammys liked it. She wins this Grammy for an album that sold 11K. Now the internet is on fire. We got one half of the internet talking all this shit, calling her industry plant, saying she got the bots behind her, saying that the Kendrick push is just that crazy. And if you associated with Kendrick, anything can happen. Then we had another half that was supporting her, that was like, y'all realize like music sales ain't the end all be all. And so Doechii was already getting a little moderate amount of hate, but her winning this Grammy turned everything up. The haters became so loud compared to her supporters, if we gonna be honest. If you were to look Doechii name up anywhere on TikTok, on Twitter, on YouTube, you're gonna see straight hate toward Doechii. And that's kind of the position she's in now. She has fans, but she has haters at the same time. But this Grammy situation was a huge moment, a crazy influx in supporters for Doechii.
Understand how big of a part or how big of a role visibility plays when building an artist kind of from the ground up. There's been this absent or silent public reception to Doechii that you would normally get from any artist that has an organic rise. But most of the cosigns that I've heard from Doechii aren't from everyday people. They aren't random tweets or random social media posts that are, you know, from people saying how amazing the body of work that she's released is. Fire that is Doechii is an industry plan. This aggressive push that people have been seeing recently where they feel like Doechii is everywhere or sometimes in spots where she doesn't necessarily need to be. It doesn't make me any happier seeing that this is something that I feel would have came from like a 2016, 2017 era Flo Milli either. It feels like the shit billionaires do whenever they're trying to present new ideas to investors.
2025 would not only be the year that this lady won a Grammy, this would also be the year that she became the face of hate. Like I said, any chance anyone got, they would hate on Doechii, whether it had something to do with her being an industry plant. But even though she had already won this Grammy, she also had a hit single come out at the same time, this Anxiety song. She had a huge song come out, #1 for a good bit of time. And just like the whole Grammy thing, a great situation turned negative. She won this Grammy. She got this attention. She got this love. Same thing with this #1 song. She got this big song out. It's everywhere. People listening to it until people started to hate it. And the amount of hate that this song was getting was crazy. This was like Not Like Us levels of hate by Drake fans, but for Doechii. And the hate she was getting was so overwhelming at one point, Rolling Stone will come out writing an article on just how much hate she'd been getting. They were right. If the disdain is strictly about not liking the music, it's fine. No one has to enjoy everything. But the loudest online discourse feels more like projections of misogyny, colorism, and a fundamental misunderstanding of how the industry works. She's often faced commenters calling her industry plant, and this was just the latest media social firestorm surrounding Doechii, who has faced a new demeaning talking point with every industry accomplishment. She's accused of making Slave and Harriet Tubman music in a viral X post. Azalea Banks called her an ugly version of her, so it was a lot going on. Then not only would she have hate coming in from outside factors, she would kind of add on to the hate. I hate to say it. She would, give takes and say things that would make the already hateful internet hate her some more.
Dating red flag. It's a huge red flag for me. All right. It's so crazy. I was gonna say men. Strike one. You're a man.
Yeah.
And you're heterosexual.
Yeah. I was gonna say, so technically, because my mind was already there, I don't think I deserve to eat a wing.
And when she said this, I remember all the backlash she was getting. This clip where she's saying, my red flag is straight men, it got so much backlash from everybody on the internet, especially her male fans. Not only did she have a situation with that clip, but she would also keep digging herself into more holes. And what I mean by this, people were mad at this clip, then she would turn around and have this whole Met Gala situation where she was being a little disrespectful, overly disrespectful if we're gonna be honest, that made her own image look a lot worse. She would be out on this night at the Met Gala and clips will come out. Clips will pop up online of Doechii treating her team, the people that were getting her dressed and helping her get everything together real crazy. She cussing them out, she saying this, she saying that, and it went viral everywhere. Article will write, while some Met Gala attendees came under fire for what they perceived to be historically insensitive fashion choices, others were targeted for wearing lackluster outfits. Rap star Doechii was met with mean girl accusations in a viral video. An annoyed Doechii could be heard demanding more umbrellas for her team to conceal her outfit as she made her way to the fashion event. A post from Prop Crave sharing the video with the caption, Doechii accused of mistreating her assistants during the Met Gala, racked up over 100,000 likes. Doechii was cussing out everybody over a mediocre outfit, yet we're the ones overreacted for thinking she was being disrespectful. Then after she getting this backlash, you know, it's industry people, it's YouTubers, it's Twitter pages, everybody talking about it, and Aiden Ross out of everybody will respond. But he would respond in the worst way he could.
Oh, Doechii rant? Oh, dude, don't get me started on that. Don't get me started on that industry plant. You guys can say shit whatever you want about me, but one thing about me is I'm not an industry plant. Doechii, the umbrella clip pissed me off. What an entitled, unintelligent piece of shit she is, bro. She deserves, bro. I'm not joking, bro. Stop listening to her music. Cardi and Abel, why would you give her a feature on a remix? You shouldn't have cleared it. She makes no good music. She's horrible.
And after Aiden would come out and say this, it basically started a war against him in hip hop. I remember I dropped the vid on this back in May. Aiden was losing brand deals. He was getting backlash. It was a lot.
You know what's crazy? Oh my God, I'm so mad, Ak. My PR was finally getting better. I had 2 deals lined up. Same with DD. I was talking to him. Lost both my deals. On God. Bro, I'm mad as like I was like, like it's not even about the money. It's just because like I wanted to do it because it's like, damn, it was a big ad. It was a big deal. So it's like. But wait, all good, man.
I know you're not gonna say what it is, but I also seen Ray from AMP. He said he lost his Adidas deal. Yo, could you really be yourself?
Ray lost his Adidas deal because he commented you're under your age and called him a monkey, but as like use monkey emojis. Because your age put like Chinese under the comments, and he replied with like monkeys. But yeah, bro. I mean, that's just the way it is, bro. That's the reality of how the world works. I mean, you know how it is, bro.
Yo, I think Kai is the only streamer clean enough to like really be aligned with brands. Like I know your brand is called Brand Risk, but like I think being a streamer is being a brand risk.
I don't even know, man. It's so hard, Ak. Like I was doing so good, bro, and it's just so hard, bro. The good news is I could collab, but
I can't, bro. He's got my first sponsorship.
He's a monster.
Your record label gonna drop you?
No, I got a Sports Illustrated.
He's a monster.
You got a Sports Illustrated marshal?
Yeah, but just please
True
don't say
killer.
So you know what's crazy? You know that same brand was offering me a deal, right? So I got offered that same deal before they dropped me for the Doechii rant. They were gonna pay me $1 million.
Wow.
What did they pay you?
A few million.
Cow. I know how much they paid you. It was $15K.
Shut up and shave.
So over these past few years, we have seen Doechii receive a lot of hate. Looking at it as a whole, every artist always has a phase of hate. They got an era where the internet hates them, and I think that's kind of inevitable. But for Doechii, it's a lot worse than most other artists. Her little hate wave been going on for a little minute now, and then anytime anything ever happens with her, it just restarts the whole cycle. Just the other day, clip of her went viral. 30 million views. She on stage at this festival. I think it was out of the country. I can't remember for sure, but she on stage at a festival. She up there rapping. She trying to get the crowd to rap the lyrics. The crowd was dead silent. Niggas just looking at her. That went viral everywhere. People right back to clowning Doechii like they was just a couple months ago. And like you done kind of seen get brought up time and time again throughout this video, a lot of people also feel like some of the hate toward her is because she's this black woman. She's this black woman that won a Grammy off an underrated album and had this going on and that. And so, you know, people side eye, and I ain't finna really dig into that much, but you know exactly what point I'm getting at. But what do y'all think? How do y'all feel about Doechii? Do y'all think she's a plant, or do y'all think she's somebody that's just had a real interesting and real lucky come up?